we have game number 1. It looks like Galarian Corsola up against Shadow Scizor.
This is a very flexible matchup for both of these trainers. You can decide to no-shield a Night Slash and then get shield advantage from the Shadow Scizor. Otherwise, you can also shield the Night Slash and then Shadow Scizor can decide to let it go.
And the burst Night Slash Dark type attack, super effective against Galarian Corsola, will go shielded. And it gets the boost. That is not what Alfie wanted to see. And another one will be coming through before Galarian Corsola is able to strike. Both shields now used on the left side here.
And Alfie seems dedicated immediately, wants to go for a fast attack down here, doesn't even try to throw these charge attacks, hangs on with a little bit of HP. Can you throw both of your charge attacks?
Well, it looks like P4tom4n needs to make a decision. Galarian Corsola comes in. This Astonish goes through, and what that means is the damage will register, and Galarian Corsola on Alfie's side will lose all the rest of that energy as it goes down. And now P4tom4n is in the driving seat with 2 shields. Not in the alignment matchup that it wants, though, because this Dunsparce resists double all ghost damage.
But the rollout is also not dealing too much damage. Drill Run is not same type attack bonus boosted. Corsola is taking a lot of that energy in now. Is not going to be one hit here. Brings in the Goodra, immediately catches a charge attack. At which point are you trying to start shielding charge attacks?
P4tom4n needs to have a think. He needs to calculate what's in the back before he wants to consider using a shield. And now that he's seen the Gastrodon, he knows that he has so much energy on his Galarian Corsola. He's charging energy really quickly on this Goodra as well. But where will the energy be able to land? How much would this Aqua Tail do? Will 1 more plus Dragon Breath damage be enough to take Gastrodon down?
P4tom4n has no time in this matchup. The HP is dwindling down. Has to use a shield here immediately. Corsola also already in the red while it still has a lot of energy. Can P4tom4n knock out this Gastrodon with Goodra is charging up to the next Aqua Tail. This will not quite knock out. Do you get the farm down here?
And now a Body Slam will be ready to go on Gastrodon once this Aqua Tail lands. And P4tom4n will have to make a decision. He comes now in with the Galarian Corsola, and Alfie just goes for the Mud Slap pressure. He knows that P4tom4n has a shield. The Mud Slap might have been more valuable.
This is a huge combo play here. Now the big question for Alfie is, how good is your Dunsparce? How many attacks can you take? Can you exit this matchup with a charge attack?
If you can roll out this Corsola down and come out with 2 attacks, you might be able to throw back-to-back against the Goodra. That could be the tactic here. That's what he's leaning towards, and he's oh so close. I think P4tom4n recognizes it as well. 1 more rollout comes through, another, and now we are at that back-to-back.
Oh, there is a protection. P4tom4n can use that. Has the Thunder Punch sword already. Is it going to be able to knock out that Dunsparce? Or is Dunsparce the normal type? Hanging on there by a thread, getting that Drill Run off.
This does slightly more damage than Aqua Tail, but will it be enough to take out the Dunsparce? If it doesn't, Dunsparce has an attack loaded.
The Drill Run is going to connect. The Dunsparce is knocking out the big Dragon type, and Alfie is in the lead.
The first game goes to Alfie as Goodra goes down. Alfie takes the first game, and that is a massive moment in this losers finals. Despite going 2 shields down early on, despite Shadow Scizor getting that Night Slash boost straight away, Alfie claws it back with a great team composition. Dunsparce saving the day.
P4tom4n with a crucial decision there in the mid game, not shielding the Night Slash from Alfie's Corsola. He has seen how Alfie is bringing Shadow Charizard and Togekiss, these offensive threats, to the table, dealing a lot of damage with those charge attacks. Did not think there was going to be another bulky Pokemon in the back, so the super effective Nightshade would have been really, really good to shield, because the other charge attacks that he had to shield in the end, they were not nearly as strong as the Nightshade.
And this is one of the critical aspects of strategy that these players really need to consider. There are 3 key aspects of a Pokemon Go battle. You are looking at energy, you are looking at shields, and you are looking at alignment. And Alfie, he sacrificed the shield, but he had the alignment, and his Pokemon were generating energy at a sufficient rate that he was able to overcome the shield disadvantage, to overcome P4tom4n's Galarian Corsola and his Goodra, and take game 1 of these losers finals.
Also, let's not forget that P4tom's Scizor in the beginning got a Night Slash boost as the first thing that happened. Alfie was still able to adapt immediately, overcome this issue, and putting back P4tom 1 game in this losers final.
We have seen P4tom4n lose game 1 before.
Yes.
This is a best of 5. That means 1 victory means a little bit less than it otherwise would have in a best of 3. And P4tom4n has such bulk available to him when he needs it. We've seen him use the flexible Gudra alongside Galarian Corsola and Wigglytuff before, and he uses those to sponge damage, to put fast attack pressure onto his opponents. Will this be a strategy that he uses once more? Because he needs to claw his way back.
P4tom4n definitely wants his rematch versus Inadequence, who is sitting, waiting in the grand finals already. But on the other side of the table right now, there is 9alfi2, a player who has come from recent success, just building on this foundation, sitting here in losers finals. What are these trainers bringing to the table? There is Gastrodon versus Shadow Caesar.
Game number 2 kicks off, and the Shadow Sizzle's bullet punches will be resisted by this Gastrodon, but it has access to the double super effective Trailblaze, and now there will need to be a shield decision to be made by Alfie. He cannot risk the one-hit knockout. He puts up a shield against this first Night Slash.
Better safe than Caesar in this situation. Swaps out the Caesar immediately. A Water Pulse is being thrown this way. And that is a very wise choice of Alfie, I think, because otherwise you would rely on the fast attack pressure later on.
And now we know that we have seen a Shadow Sizzle in the lead, and yet Alfie is holding on to the Togekiss. He's not giving it away yet. He's coming in with his own Galarian Corsola into the Galarian Corsola of P4tom4n that was chipped by that Gastrodon. Both Pokemon now in the yellow. Alfie with an energy advantage.
Whoa.
And that Galarian Corsola is at the bottom. Alfie backed himself to win charge attack priority, and he has!
The damage is going to be done here. Alfie now has to throw here. Couldn't quite get the farm down. Still has a decent amount of energy stored there. But is it going to be a charm down before we reach that power gem? 1 HP on the Corsola here to get this power gem of huge chunk of damage.
Bulk matters, but so does attack. Alfie showing that he has enough to win the mirror charge attack priority event and enough bulk to hold on to that last charm from Wigglytuff. And Alfie now needs to make a decision, knowing that he has shield disadvantage, knowing that there's a Shadow Scissor available. But this Togekiss also cannot take an Icy Wind, and so the next shield needs to be considered to be used by Alfie.
Togekiss looks like it has nothing to take at all. Calls it! There is a Swift, does not do super effective damage. Immediate swap from both sides. Alfie is going in here. He seems unstoppable.
Simul swap from Alfie and P4tom4n. Alfie doesn't allow Bullet Punch to register on the Togekiss. He mud slaps down the Shadow Sizzle, uses his last shield, and now he needs to get both back off this Wigglytuff if he wants a chance of winning. But the Wigglytuff is already at a Swift.
The body slam spam trying to happen here from this Gastrodon. Are we going to see a Swift immediately? No, another shield is being put up. P4tom4n is trying to go for a farm down here.
Did Alfie bank a move on his Togekiss? That will be the key question. If he has a charge attack on the Togekiss, it will win charge attack priority. If it doesn't, P4tom4n has the charge attack that will take it down. It's a charge attack priority event!
The Aura Sphere! Togekiss is going to capitalize upon its huge attack, and it's throwing a fighting type attack into Wigglytuff to knock it out. Alfie 2, P4tom4n 0.
What a moment, what meticulous play, what energy management. Alfie banking the Aura Sphere. He simul swapped with the Shadow Sizzle. He saved the move for the end of the game, and it puts him in a huge advantage in these losers finals.
Alfie is levitating above the rest of us, sitting in his opponent's heads, just racing to this grand finals here. 2-0 up, 1 foot already at the table next to Inadequence. But now P4tom4n, we have seen him plenty of times with his back against the wall. He has come back from worse situations. What is his next move going to be?
Alfie leaning into Dunsparce in Game 1, leaning into Togekiss in Game 2, showing that he has so many options at his disposal. What will he do as he approaches this Game 3? Because if he wins it, he will advance to the Grand Finals. He has a 2-game lead. Now is the time that he can take a moment of breath, maybe even a risk if he wants to.
definitely, there can be some situations where you will have to follow your guts, and if you're 2-0 up, the punishment for that might be minimal, but better to be locked in, better to always focus. It's always better to go 3-0 instead of just risking losing and getting reverse swept.
And let's not let it go understated. The moment that Alfie called the swift bait, when Togekiss held on, when an Icy Wind would have knocked out, it just shows that when you get to this stage of the competition, you need to have the guts. You need to have it inside you. That aura he showed inside, the aura his Togekiss showed at the end of the game. Alfie wants one more win.
Alfie truly is aura farming on the big stage in front of all of these people, wants to show absolute dominance over one of the best trainers in the world in Game 3 as well. A neutral lead in the beginning, Cradley versus the Corsola.
And it looks like Alfie has made sure that he will not be weak to a Wigglytuff or a Goodra in the back. He's playing such a neutral line here. And we know that a Cradley with a lot of bulk can hold on against a Galarian Corsola in the lead zero shield scenario where neither Pokemon use a Protect Shield.
When Protect Shields are being used, the whole situation flips, but let's face it, who wants to Protect Shield attacks from a Cradley on your Galarian Corsola? Corsola's role in most teams is to soak attacks, sponge damage.
Rock Tomb landing again. This has double debuffed the attack of the Galarian Corsola. Pataman has no time for that. Comes in aggressively with his Goodra, knowing that there aren't a ton of options available to Alfie as an immediate counter swap. Goodra is throwing this Aqua Tail, and Alfie is very, very happy to shield the Cradley and ensure that he can get either damage, but definitely an attack debuff in return.
Let's see if Pataman even shields the Goodra here. Goodra will take the full Rock Tomb here, swap out immediately into the Dunsparce, and Dunsparce is super happy to take 1 or 2 charge attacks even in this situation. Everything here is debuffed from the Goodra now. Gets to throw a Drill Run before Pataman throws anything.
Dunsparce so bulky, I wouldn't be surprised if Pataman's looking to bank energy and then save his Goodra for later. We've seen him do it before, but the switch clocks aren't quite up yet. He's waiting for it, and there he goes into the Wigglytuff just as the Drill Run comes through.
Even gets the full charm through. Dunsparce is now facing the Fairy type here. So much fast attack pressure. Still locked into this switch timer. Can you get another charge attack off?
Drill Run now coming through. This won't threaten a knockout. Pataman knows it, but he knows that if it lands, all of his Pokemon will be so low in health, and he will need to be managing everything perfectly. And he is now being met by a very bulky Gastrodon. Icy Wind will at least reduce its attack, but Alfie looks like he's in a very good position here.
Nobody wants to see their opponents at full power. Both of these trainers keep debuffing each other. Their Gastrodon gets a full farm down here, but there's the Goodra. It has so much energy.
The first Aqua Tail about to land on this Gastrodon. Alfie was leaning for that body slam. Was this a charge attack priority event? Yes, it was. And now Pataman has to shield up this Goodra if he wants to get off the rest of the energy that's available to it. Alfie looks in a good position. Shields are still available for Alfie. One is remaining. Will he use it now?
Pataman is playing with all his Pokemon, spreading the damage from Alfie on all of them. Has so much energy, so little HP on all of these Pokemon. Now goes for another Aqua Tail. Alfie has a shield available to his name, uses it on the Dunsparce. How much energy is left on the Corsola? The switch timer's up. Pataman could go for a combo play if he has a Power Gem here.
Galarian Corsola's in the back, and look at this. Pataman is reaching for it. He did have so much energy there, not quite enough for a Power Gem, and now this Drill Run will land, but the Goodra also has energy available.
Goodra has an attack, but it only has 1 HP, and the Cradley is sitting strong in the back for Alfie. Aqua Tail is going to take out the Dunsparce, but Cradley prevails supreme.
Cradley taking down this Goodra. Alfie sweeping the losers finals. Pataman drops out of the Frankfurt Regional Championships.
Alfie coming out of nowhere at the end of last season, and now going to the winners finals, dropping down to the losers finals, going back up again. Grand finals performance, silver medal at least secured here.
Silver medal guaranteed for Alfie at a minimum. if he can play against Inadequates in those grand finals, if he can win another best of 5, he will have the opportunity